all the council members received an email at about 3:15 this afternoon. It was sent to the clerk's office from the Reverend at St. Matthew Trinity Lutheran Church, and I just want to briefly read from it because I think it's beautiful. And it's written on behalf of the congregation of St. Matthew Trinity Church, commending the city for considering this resolution, and it includes the following sentence: "Our congregation is proud to be a member of a community that places such an emphasis on the rights and dignity of every human," which I think is just beautiful. And I wanted to thank the Church of St. Matthew Trinity Lutheran Church and Reverend Gary LaCroix for that message to our city council. After I was elected and sworn in just a few weeks ago, I received an email from Afshin Hamsi, who I met for the first time outside the city council chambers tonight, with this resolution. And I have to say, I was so honored that it came to me, and I wanted to work as quickly as I could to get it before the city council. So I want to thank my colleagues for having this put onto the agenda so quickly. As Rachel Hodes mentioned, was involved with going before the Board of Freeholders. Pat Waiters referred to it, when the Board of Freeholders renewed its contract with ICE without a deadline, and did it in large part to increase the revenues of the county. And a lot of us came out and spoke up and expressed our shock and concern about that, and the results were tangible. Our voices were heard, and there have been real changes made with respect to Hudson County, and we acknowledge that in this resolution. They've created we talk about the need for civilian review of immigrant facilities, and the Hudson County has created a correctional advisory board, a grievance appeal board, a detainee advocate, and some of those existed before, but they've been enhanced. And some of the conditions that are so offensive and objectionable are the result of not having real oversight from outside the institutions. And by having people like Rachel serve on the ad hoc committee and look at it and give real meaningful feedback, and having people like Brian Neary, who is a criminal attorney who represents people, serve on these boards, we have real, legitimate, interested, objective oversight going on to make sure that the conditions that are happening here in Hudson County are conditions that we can feel good about, that we can feel comfortable about. We may not be happy that what's going on with ICE, but because our voices were heard, our county has been responsive, and we acknowledge the good things that Hudson County has done in this area of civilian oversight. One of the things that's included in this resolution is the need to fund attorneys through the state of New Jersey so that there could be meaningful legal representation and meaningful due process. And I just want to share a story that happened in Dilley, Texas, which came up recently. A friend and colleague of mine, Bill Silverman, who was my partner at my law firm, who is the pro bono global chair for Proskauer, which is an excellent law firm in New York City, took a trip to Dilley, and he wanted to appear on behalf of an 8-year-old girl who was having a deportation hearing, and he was assigned to be her lawyer. And he described a scene like this. The judge appeared on a video screen, a little bit blurry, but larger than life. My client, an 8-year-old girl, sat next to me at a long table. This proceeding in Dilley, Texas, was not open to the public, but was held behind 2 locked doors in a trailer, secured within a sprawling, quote, family residential center that, despite its friendly name, had all the indicia of a jail. And this 8-year-old was holding a doll during this proceeding. This was an expedited removal proceeding, and I was appealing an asylum officer's negative, credible fear determination for my young client. Her mother's appeal had already been denied, so this was our last chance to prevent the two from being deported. Especially considering my client's age, I wanted to marshal the evidence and explain why the legal standard had been met in this case. Bill asked, "May I be heard, Your Honor?" The answer, "No, you may not." The judge asked my client a few questions, 8-year-old girl, denied the appeal, and wished my client good luck in your home country. That was the due process that this 8-year-old girl got in Dilley, Texas. I applaud the ACLU for pushing for meaningful representation of people going through the immigration proceedings. People should not be deported without the benefit of real legal counsel. and the state of New Jersey should value what the ACLU is pushing for here. And I want to ask my colleagues to join in this, because this sends the right message that we are a nation of immigrants. We value our diversity. Our diversity is our strength. The mayor of our city, the leader of our city, he is parents of first generation. Nothing could be more powerful when you look at the success story of this country, when you look at Mayor Bala and his family's journey, to see that this is what America's all about. So what do we value here in Hoboken? We value diversity. Who do we value in Hoboken? Immigrants. Why? Because we are all immigrants. We are all immigrants. And that's the American story, and that's the American dream. So I'm honored that Afshin came to me with this resolution. I thank my colleagues for considering it, and thank you for taking the time this evening and your consideration. Thank you.